having said that, we are all set to make way towards the first session for this morning, ladies and gentlemen. What a coincidence it is that tomorrow happens to be Women's Day, so let me resort to a quote by Malala Yousafzai, which goes something like this. There are two powers in the world. One is the sword. The other is the pen. And there is the third power that is stronger than both, that of women. With that, I lead you on to our first panel for this morning, which is She Empowers Power, Growth and Leadership, with women entrepreneurs and leaders redefining industries, driving innovation and creating a lasting impact. Let me begin by inviting on the dais our respected moderator, Mr. Advait Upadhyay, Managing Director, Talent Edgea Technologies, a dynamic entrepreneur leading a 150 plus member team. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for our moderator, Mr. Advait Upadhyay. As for our speakers, ladies and gentlemen, first up we have Ms. Anuja Bashir, co-founder and CEO, Flexi Cloud, a serial entrepreneur, startup mentor and TEDx speaker. What a pleasure it is to have her here with us this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Ms. Anuja Bashir. And ladies and gentlemen, it may sound like a cliche when our sensees say that our next speaker needs no introduction. But believe you me when I say this, our next speaker really needs no introduction. With a loud round of applause, let us please give it up for Dolly Ahluwalia ji, celebrated actress, costume designer, award-winning artist recognized for her work in Bandit Queen, Heather, Vicky Donor, and many, many more films. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Dolly Ahluwalia ji. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have Atreya Barua, founder Web.com, a pioneering tech entrepreneur from Assam with leadership roles in NASSCOM, ICC and major corporate boards. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Atreya Barua. And ladies and gentlemen, it is also my pleasure to invite on the dais Dr. Ruchi Singla, Director, Research and Innovation, CGC Landra, and experienced educator, administrator, specializing in IPR, curriculum development and student mentorship. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Dr. Ruchi Singla. And with that, the panel is all for our moderator to take it forward.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Niharika, for such a lovely introduction. And a very warm welcome to all the panelists. So, ladies and gentlemen, today on the dais, we are joined by the industry leaders, women entrepreneurs. They are these industry stalwarts, and today they have found their time to be with us. So let us try to learn from their entrepreneurial journey and learn from their experience. Hi, Anuja. Please. Right. So, my first question to you, as you have joined a bit late, so my first question goes to you, Anuja. Like over the last 22 years, what has been your journey? What inspired you? What was that thriving moment in your career, in your life, that where you truly felt thrived and that inspired you to do better in your life?
So hello everyone, hi Chandigarh. Seeing so many familiar faces. Hi Mahavir. So I believe that there's no single turning point in life. It's all small wins, sometimes failures, sometimes a curve you take, you don't know where it goes to, untested waters, but it's actually the journey. So if you ask me, I'm an accidental entrepreneur who started as a career as a civil engineer, was in Dubai for like more than a decade, And then all of a sudden I came back to Kerala just because of my kids' education, where I wanted to do an MTech. And because of that, I joined a college where suddenly the idea popped up in my head, why can't I do a curriculum for engineering graduates? Since I had a corporate background, I tried to create something in 2013. It was not similar, it was an edtech platform only. But unfortunately, it was way ahead of time. It didn't take me 6 months to crash. And I mean, family and the rest of the kind of my peers were not very supportive because that was like very new to them and very untested water, so nobody wants to take that risk. Again, 2017, till 2017, I went back to corporate. I took marketing as a career, and then 17, again I restarted Oriya as a marketing company where tech also was involved. So it was more like a market tech. But unfortunately, I didn't know the basic lessons of entrepreneurship because the first lesson was only idea never works. Implementation is very hard. Execution is...
So let me get back to you again with the next question.
Yeah.
Dolly, my question to you is, like over 30 plus years of active career, what kept you going?
Good morning, Chandigarh. Sat Shri Akal, everybody here. The moment I came to this world, the Thrive word started inside me. So I would say, yes, coming out from my mother's womb was a thrive to make myself a name to the society, a name to my parents, and I'm answerable to the Almighty sitting there for it. Yes, I'm like a river and I flow myself as far as the current goes, but I definitely in between look around for the support, vis-a-vis it's a log of wood or vis-a-vis it's a stone. Abhi, I just want to share one thing, we are here for a talk. And for me, thriving is basically one word I believe is focus. Ab yahan pe there is so much of activity happening, people are talking. So it's an insult for the speakers to be here and talking, whereas there's so many other activities. So for me, the thrive word goes as focus. Focus. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dolly. Trey. So my question to you is, like, over the last 25 years, you have a wonderful career. You left a job, a set job in Singapore, and then came back to Assam in 1999 and founded an IT company. So what was your thought process then? And what empowered you to step into the authority and leadership?
Thank you. Good morning, Chandigarh. Thank you, Tycon, for having me here. Delighted to be here. So growing up, I wanted to work for a multinational, and I started working for one in Singapore. But very soon into my first year, I realized that, I'm not cut out to work for anyone else, and I had to work for myself, which is when I quit and I came back to Assam in the late 90s, much to the disappointment of my family, because who throws up a multinational job in Singapore to come back to Assam? So I did that. So I think what empowered me is my personality type. That doesn't permit me to work for anybody else. Whatever I do it my way. So I think that I would say. And zero fear of failure. The fact that I may fail didn't even cross my mind. So here I am 26 years later, still running my company, still the only woman entrepreneur of a tech company, all these years in Assam.
So, thank you, Akshay. Ruchi, my question to you is, how will you reflect on your journey for last 22 years, grossly in the education industry. How, as a woman in leadership position, do you empower and uplift other people around you?
Okay, good morning everyone. So it's great to be here and it's an honor for me to represent Chandigarh Group of Colleges, Landra, Mohali. So if I talk about my academic journey for the last 24 years and what I feel and what lessons which I have learned for the past 24 years is, first thing, never this. Always never be in your comfort zone when you are working. If you are in your comfort zone when you are working, this means you are about to retire. Another thing, the lesson which I have learned and the journey which reflects my empowerment and my leadership is always have the learnability quotient. You should always be ready to learn. Always be ready to accept challenges and work on new ventures. And what was the second question? So creating a positive ecosystem and delegating the work, sharing success with my team. So this is the way I inspire people around me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, Anita, back to you again. So, how do you think, how can businesses and organizations create policies and cultures that truly empower their employees without gender bias?
So, basic fact is that policies are not made on paper. That's the first criteria I believe in. So, if business or any organization can only run with an incredible team. It's not only an entrepreneur who runs a show. It's the backbone of the entire system is again the team, and the founder or the promoter or whoever is running the show leads the show. And again, talking about gender biases, I believe that anything in my organization, all my startups, whatever we do, from hiring to pay scales to appraisals to beat anything, we make sure that it's purely on a merit basis, on talent basis, rather than on somebody having, even compared to experience and freshers, we always look what quality they have. If they have talent, can we skill them? So, and I believe that we need to balance the system in such a way that we need to have both men and women in the system, because I believe that sometimes you get to learn a lot of logical things from men, and from women I think the passionate power comes from them. So the combined effect actually takes the system to the next level. So I think that kind of work culture is very important. Promoting positive work culture among your employees, understanding them, they're also humans, they're not AI boards, so they have troubles. If we can consider that fact, especially women who also have to run a household, or maybe they have their mothers, if you could be flexible to them in such a way that I think productivity can be brought out in a major scale.
Thank you. Lali, my next question goes to you is, what advice would you give to the young entrepreneurs and the budding startups who struggle to assert themselves in the leadership position?
My father always used to say कि गिर गिर के आप संभलते हो और बड़े होते हो. So I would say the youngsters fall. Then only you'll be able to learn and balance yourself. Secondly, I would like to say, the soul and the head and the heart is like a vessel. If you have the art how to empty it out and how to grasp new things, you will be able to climb the ladder much more peacefully. Usme basically what I would say, abhi bhi I can see, and I will not shy away from saying, everything is like a fast food. Everybody is busy in their own things, not trying to aim and seek what is important in your life. Aim, target, fall and grow. you will get what you want. And for that, one word which has taught me why I am here with you is be honest to yourself. That's most important. Thank you.
Thank you, Ali. Atrey, would you like to answer the same question? Any piece of advice that you would like to give to the budding entrepreneurs who assert themselves in the leadership positions?
Well, I think, to my mind, the most important thing is domain knowledge. Whatever the product, the service you're trying to sell, know everything about there is to it. So domain knowledge. As they say, knowledge is power and knowledge breeds confidence. So your confidence will come from domain knowledge. Secondly, it would be to have a clear vision and communicate that vision effectively to your team. So a leader with a clear vision always commands respect. Third would be to walk the talk, be ethical, as Ma'am said. Ethics is very, very important. You have, and accept failure. When you fail, learn from that, move on. Develop emotional intelligence. I think that is very important to build trust. When your team trusts, it's easy to respect you as a leader. And as they say, change is the only constant, so be adaptable. Constantly keep adapting to the changing environment. I think those are certain strategies to
Thank you, Atrey. Ruchi, I would like to ask you, according to you, what should be the right sequence of thrive, empower and nurture for a leader?
Edward, so I have a lot of young entrepreneurs working in my incubation center, and since I'm a part of academics, so there are a lot of young students and young minds which are working with me. And I believe that the students or even moving forward, the young entrepreneurs, we should nurture them, providing them hand-holding and mentoring. And then empower them by giving them a platform and sharing our own network with them where they can empower themselves, build their own brand. And then it is the thrive where the entrepreneurs or even the students, they can thrive. For me, it is nurture, empower and thrive. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, back to you again. My question to you is, how do you nurture and develop the next generation of leaders?
So we were talking about leadership now. So I believe that more than leaders, we need change makers, because it's time that leaders step into that level where we really do some kind of impact. And I believe that change makers really can do that, because somewhere they become contributors as leaders once they have this accountability, responsibility, and then the experience and expertise they've gained over years make them in a situation where they can handle a lot of things. And I believe it's always a give and take policy. Once you get a lot of things, at a point of time you have to give back to the ecosystem, and that's where the change makers come in. So if you ask me, the next generation, what they need more than leaders, they need people who actually make impact, where they understand that, like as my fellow panelists were saying the same thing, the morality, the ethical part, these are very important, because you're not in a rat race. Because somewhere entrepreneurship is going in a way, the next generation is like, who is the best? Actually, everybody is best in their own version. So you're not here for a competition. Rather than, if you go through the magic of collaboration, I think there's a synergy everywhere. So if the next generation entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs could realize the fact that we're all in this together. If our system is not powerful enough to thrive, none of us can thrive, whatever we build. So it's a collaborative ecosystem. And the second thing I would say is that I always, this is my hashtag, I gave it this hashtag of in a YouTube podcast with Sharon. It's like hashtag never ever give up. You should never ever give up. No matter what, your dreams are yours. You own it. It came to you because it was destined for you. So whatever is there, you need to keep on going, because it's just a kind of making you strong, better, or bringing out or carving out the best version of you. So for that, what you need is adaptability, you need resilience, and above all, you should believe in yourself that you are destined for it. And once entrepreneurship chooses you, you should understand that you are for it. If you believe that, everything will come to you.
Thank you, Anuja. My next question is, what practices or habits have helped you maintain mental and emotional balance and wellness while living in high pressure environment?
Repeat your question.
What practices or habits have helped you maintain mental and emotional wellness while leading in high pressure environment?
Faith in myself, respect for myself. If I'm able to translate or identify myself with these two words, I bet you're going to get the same from the person you're working with. Yes, there have been lots of challenges that has come in my life. There are lots of failures. I will not shy away from saying so. But those failures are there to show me success and make me more stronger. As I mentioned earlier also, for me life, and for all of us sitting right in front of me, sharing this wonderful morning, is like a step, stairs. So the moment your respect, your ethics, everything comes when you take the step. When you take the step, you would count back, look back and say, yes, I've climbed 10 steps. Or I have another 10 steps to go. So be aware of yourself. Again, I would repeat, because this is what I am here today. Be honest to yourself. Don't shy away from your mistakes. I would definitely share with my friend that this is what it is. And as a true friend, you will be getting the right answers. And lastly, I would say, please don't get upset, rejected. I'm using these common words because this is, as human beings, we go through. We have to go through the falls to achieve the heights. So that is what it is, I feel. Thank you.
That's very good. So, how do you balance nurturing a successful career with personal well-being and family life?
So I am very, very conscious of time. I plan every day meticulously because I believe, time gone is time gone and we're never going to get it back. So I prioritize my life. And I'm very clear that the two main aspects of my life are my family and my work. Now, of course, my children are grown and they've flown the nest. But I think when they were growing up, I worked or I was with my family. I had no other distractions. Now, of course, as we get older, personal well-being is also a big aspect of my life. So I prioritize, I set boundaries. If I say no when I have to say no. And I'm 100% present. If I'm with my family, I'm 100% there. If I'm at work, I'm 100% there. So I think it's important to be present.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Ruchi, my question is, how do you ensure that success is sustainable and not just short-lived?
So, I always believe in giving back to the society and sharing my success with others, sharing my success with the team, working together so that we can sustain the success which we have, which we have gotten or which we have received. And this is the way like I am able to sustain the success, and it is not short-lived for me. It has never been short-lived for me till date. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
I just want to say one thing, add one thing, which is very important for me as a woman. Tomorrow is a Women's Day, so I would just like to say, spell out WOMAN, WOMEN. So no woman is complete without a man, and visibly the same goes for women. So that's what life is.
Thank you very much. Now, one by one, if you could please address, like, in one sentence, how would you define a truly empowered leader?
This is for me, right? Delegate things, stay focused, be grounded. Yeah, thank you.
For me, an empowered leader is someone who walks the talk and takes people along in the journey.
Lovely question. It's dig, go deeper, and you'll find the answer. That's what it is.
I believe that stay balanced. No matter what, be in balance. Everything will fall in its place. And adaptability, resilience, perseverance, patience, and above all, believing in oneself. When combined together, the magic automatically happens.
Advait, I just want to share my personal thing is, because I'm also into costume designing and into acting, so one must learn the art of layering and unlayering. That's very important, because the experience comes, you learn and you try to take it off so that you're able to layer the other one. That's what life is.
Thank you, Dolly. So if the time permits, I would like to engage our speakers in a rapid fire round where I'll be asking some questions to them. So Ruchi, I'd like to start with you. You just have to give the answer in one word, right? So, what is your favorite female-dominant movie?
English.
Alright. Okay. 2 words of advice that the young entrepreneurs and budding entrepreneurs.
Stay focused, stay patient.
Okay. A woman leader who inspires you the most. A woman leader who inspires you the most.
Sudha Krishnamurthy.
One word that defines your leadership style.
My personality.
And one habit that fuels your success every day.
I take time for myself every day, going for a Zumba class or for a workout. So, yeah.
Thank you. That's right. A book every leader should read.
Leaders E-Class by Simon Sinek.
Okay, please make a note. You may buy this book. One skill every woman must master to succeed.
Negotiation.
That even men should try and do that.
Everybody should learn that.
Right. One song that describes your leadership journey.
Unstoppable by Sia.
One way women can uplift each other at work.
Peer mentoring.
If you were not in your current career, what would you be doing?
Travel blogging.
Done. Your go-to stress buster.
Music.
Okay. What's the funniest excuse that you have ever heard missing a deadline?
Ma'am, I'm nervous.
So if you could ban one of the corporate buzzword, what would it be?
FYI.
If your to-do list had feelings, what would it say to you?
Sorry, what?
If your to-do list had feelings, what would it say to you?
If my,
To-do list, bucket list,
yeah,
wish list had a feeling, what would it say to you?
I love you.
If you were a hashtag, what would it be?
Hashtag. What a question, yeah, you've really taken me to a deep thought. Hashtag. No, I'm stopping. Thinker. My hashtag would be thinker.
Alright. Anuja, I'll pass on the mic.
Yeah.
So, if you had a superpower for one day, what
Yeah.
would you be doing?
Oh my God. I think I'll become like that movie that Naik, no? One day Prime Minister of India. Maybe I'll change the entire ecosystem for the entrepreneurs, whatever I can do. One day.
If you could have dinner with one person from history, who would that be?
There are so many people.
If you have to choose one.
Napoleon.
Okay. What's the first word that comes to your mind when you hear Monday morning?
Oh my God, it's Monday morning.
Okay.
But yours one word, right? Start.
Wonderful. What's the funniest misconception that people have about you?
Where is that question to me? Anyway, I'm very dominant.
Okay. If your work-life balance had a relationship status, what would it be?
Perfect.
Wonderful. So it was tough to handle so much of talent on the stage. I stand nowhere among these stalwart ladies. So sorry if I was not able to do justice with all of you, but I tried my best as per my capabilities. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it from the dais for this first panel of the day. Thank you very much for listening to us. And as you know that tomorrow is the International Women's Day, so I would request everybody to please give a standing ovation to our women speakers. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Thank you once again for joining us.
Yeah, I haven't bribed them enough, and MC's worst fears coming true twice in a day. Can't help it, but no matter how much one tries, you really can't negotiate with time, even with practice. I really do wish we would have gone on, but it is what it is. And I'm also reminded of a quote by the Dalai Lama, which says that there are only 2 days in the world when nothing can be done. One is yesterday, and one is tomorrow. So what we truly have is the present moment. Let's cherish it. And as a way of cherishing the present moment, could I please request Chair TiE Global, Mr. Murli Bukkapatnam, and President TiE Chandigarh, Mr. S.K. Arora, to come up on the dais and felicitate our esteemed panel. If I could request Vice President TiE Chandigarh, Mr. Puneet Verma, to come up and felicitate our panel. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Miss Anuja Bashir co-founder and CEO, FlexiCloud. Ladies and gentlemen, Anuja Bashir, co-founder and CEO, FlexiCloud, serial entrepreneur, startup mentor, TEDx speaker. Our next speaker, ladies and gentlemen, Dolly Ahluwalia ji, actress, costume designer, award-winning artist with 3 National Film Awards. I think 3 National Film Awards, that deserves a louder round of applause. If we can once more have it for Dolly Ahluwalia ji, actress, costume designer with 3 National Film Awards. And ladies and gentlemen, Atri Barua, founder Web.com, pioneering tech entrepreneur from Assam with leadership roles in NASCOM, ICC and major corporate boards. And ladies and gentlemen, please also give it up for Dr. Ruchi Singla, Director, Research and Innovation, CGC Landra, experienced educator, administrator, specializing in IPR, curriculum development and student mentorship. Last but not the least, ladies and gentlemen, our esteemed moderator, Advait Upadhyay, Managing Director, Talentegia Technologies, a dynamic entrepreneur, leading a 150+ member team, driving innovation and software solutions across industries worldwide. As is customary, we now transition into a group picture. Well, that was the first panel for this morning at the 10th edition of TiECon Chandigarh 2025. She empowers power, growth, and leadership.